Hey yo, what is up, Yount Squad, and welcome back to the vlog. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. If you guys watched yesterday's vlog, you guys would know we're having some problems with the Jeep. No big deal. We'll be able to get it figured out and get it fixed right now. I just got into the Jeep. I'm gonna run these codes again, double check all of the codes, and then I'm gonna erase the codes, start the Jeep back up, and see if we can replicate any of those codes and make sure that they're not just stored codes, because it could have been something that just happened once and it stored the code. So we're gonna clear all the codes and see if we can replicate them, and that's where we're gonna start today. So as of right now, guys, we are getting 3 codes. We have a P0123, which is throttle position sensor high voltage. We have the P1698, which electrical erasable programmable read-only memory write denied, which this has to do with the powertrain control module. I was looking that up last night. And then P0138, oxygen sensor short to voltage bank 1 sensor 2. That's normal. That's been on here since I've owned the Jeep. So we're gonna clear these codes really quick, and then we're gonna start the Jeep back up and see if these codes are replicated. I do apologize, guys. I know the Jeep is pretty loud. We just erased the codes. I started up the Jeep. It seemed to have started up just fine, but this is what happened yesterday. We replaced the crankshaft position sensor. The Jeep started up just fine, but while I was driving it on the way home, that's when I noticed the issue. So I'm gonna back out of the driveway real quick. We're gonna take it for a little test drive down the street and see if any of these issues are still occurring. I took the Jeep up and down the street one time, and then I had to run inside to let the National Grid guy in. He's here replacing our gas meter right now. I left my Jeep running while I ran inside real quick, came back out, and the Jeep shut off. So let's see if we're having any problems starting it right now. Now watch when I give it some throttle. You guys hear how it's puttering just like that? That was the same exact issue that I was experiencing yesterday. So I cleared those codes. We're still having the issue. Let's hook up the code reader again and see what codes it's throwing this time. So I just ran the codes. The Jeep may not have been running long enough for it to pick up the other codes. Right now it's throwing a P0141, oxygen sensor heater bank 1 sensor 2. And I've had this code before. I told you guys I'm always gonna have problems with my O2 sensor, which obviously can affect the way the Jeep is running as far as the air fuel mixture and stuff like that. But like I said, guys, my Jeep has been running perfectly fine with these codes, so I know something else is definitely going on right now. I do need to head off to the parts store to pick up a few other things for the Jeep today that I know I need. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and risk driving the Jeep just so hopefully by time I get there, maybe it'll pick up any other codes that it was throwing yesterday, you know, as far as the PCM, the throttle position sensor, stuff like that. There's a good possibility I might end up breaking down, but until I can replicate these codes and know that this is for sure something that's causing the Jeep to run the way that it is, I don't really have a good starting point. I mean, I have a rough idea with the codes that it threw yesterday, but after replacing the crankshaft position sensor, something could have just happened and thrown those codes miscellaneously. So with that being said, let's head off to the auto parts store and see if we can replicate these codes, guys. Ooh, come on, baby. Stay with me. I'm not gonna be taking the Jeep to the parts store. I know it's gonna end up dying when I'm on the highway. Keep bouncing off the gas and you guys can hear it. It's just dying. Yeah, this thing is running like absolute crap right now. So I do know the codes that it threw yesterday pretty much give me a good starting point. I know that anything with the PCM can definitely cause the Jeep to run the way that it is right now, but not only that, I know problems with the throttle position sensor getting high voltage can also cause these issues. I mean, the crankshaft position sensor, throttle position sensor, the IAC, and the PCM, these things are like all tied in together, so just one of them going wrong can cause these issues that I'm having right now. It might be a little windy, guys, but before I head off to the parts store, I'm going to show you guys a couple things that I need to grab 100%. I'm going to try getting some new blocks for the top of the terminal. As you guys can see, this ground wire right here is out. The little bolt that was holding that in ended up coming out. Not exactly too sure where it is, so I'm going to try getting some of these terminal clamps up here. As you guys can see up here, this PCV valve, the hose from this came disconnected. It ended up breaking. So while I was on the side of the highway last night, the only thing that I had with me was Scotch tape. So when you're in an emergency situation, sometimes you need to just do whatever you can to get it to work. So I need to get a new hose for the PCV valve. And as of right now, that's all I know 100% that I'm gonna need. I'm also gonna pick up some extra fuses. I'm gonna go through, double check every single fuse, make sure everything is good with that. And it's weird because the Jeep is running almost like it has a misfire, but it's not misfiring. It's not picking up any codes and hasn't been picking up any misfiring codes. It's just running really crappy right now. Then we're also gonna have to take a look at the PCM, the powertrain control module, check all this stuff out. Like I said, I'm gonna be going over the Jeep today, top to bottom. And as of right now, I'm kind of just looking around and seeing if I can see anything that's out of the ordinary, you know, anything unplugged. We have this unplugged right here. This is for my electric fan right here that I don't have because someone ended up taking it out. Everything else is looking normal. Throttle position sensors plugged in, that's good. May need a new throttle position sensor, like I said, but I'm not gonna just go out and buy that until I know for sure what's going on. Could be the IAC. This is the plug-in for the crankshaft position sensor, which I did yesterday. That's all plugged in, good to go. Put a little bit of dielectric grease on there to seal the connection, stop corrosion. I know some of you guys probably have no idea what I'm talking about right now, but like I said, if you guys voted for daily vlogs yesterday, this is the stuff that you guys are gonna have to see because this is my life. This is what I do. I work on my Jeep. You know, I work on my vehicles when they're messed up. If it's something that I can do, if not, then, you know, sometimes I'll end up taking it to a shop. I just moved here. A lot of my tools and stuff are in storage and I don't have a garage here at my house to work on. I do at my grandparents' house, but as of right now, the Jeep is not in running condition to be able to get it over there. And as of right now, I'm not seeing anything else out of the ordinary. So I'm gonna head off to the parts store, try getting a new hose for the PCV valve, try getting some of these terminal clamps up here, come back, and then we'll start taking apart the PCM, all that stuff. I mean, it could be something simple, like maybe one of the prongs inside the PCM is broke. I'm gonna look into all of that when I get back from the parts store. And I know some of you watching right now are like, why would you go to the parts store before you figure out what's wrong? There's a couple things that I know need to be fixed right now. Since I am gonna be working on the Jeep at the house today, I need to pick up a couple basic tools as well. So with that being said, guys, let's head off to the parts store. We just got back from the parts store. It's starting to rain right now. I'm honestly just hoping that the weather holds off just a little bit. Now I want to show you guys a little trick. So right here you guys can see the little tape job that I did last night, which I'm more than positive that didn't really help that much. But I want to show you guys a way that you can check for vacuum leaks. Obviously the Jeep is running like crap. Let's see if we can at least get it to start so I can show you this little demonstration here. And it runs like crap. So you take a little bit of starter fluid. I do apologize, it's super loud, but the engine seems to be running okay right now. But if you have a bad vacuum leak and it's causing your engine to run funky, when it's running, if you spray starter fluid, like for example, I'm spraying it right here because I know that that hose is disconnected, it's messed up. Yeah, I did a really crappy tape job, but it was the only thing that I had. But I'm spraying starter fluid on there and the engine isn't sucking in any of the starter fluid through this vacuum line. So I know that that's not really an issue right now. I do need to fix it. I got a hose and everything to be able to fix that, but that is not going to be the source of our problem. So to give you guys a little update, we ended up getting the positive terminal done. I'm having problems getting the negative off because I got this little socket set and I don't have a big enough socket for this. I left most of my tools at my grandpa's house yesterday. Very, very stupid of me. So my buddy Jordan's going to be coming over. He's going to be bringing some of his tools so that way we can get the negative clamp done. I ended up taking off the PCV valve, going to be doing the hose for that. And I also ended up taking off the PCM, checking some of the prongs in here, making sure everything looks good. And as of right now, it looks good. It's definitely super dirty. You guys can see some of the connectors are really, really dirty as well, but I'm not too sure if this is what's causing the issue or not. We're gonna keep digging around and see if we can figure out what's going on with this thing. It got cold, it got dark, and from what I'm seeing, I've looked over all the wires and everything, all the connections to the throttle position sensor, the IAC, crankshaft position sensor, everything is looking good. I'm not seeing any burnt wires, nothing looks like it's shorted out. There's no loose wires anywhere. So from my understanding with the TPS high voltage and the PCM high voltage, both of those point back to a bad PCM, but now I want to replace it, and guess what? It's obsolete. They don't even make them anymore. Dealership doesn't carry it, Napa doesn't carry it, AutoZone doesn't carry it, so I think I'm going to end up being forced to get a junkyard one or order one from eBay. The only thing with eBay is I've ordered some stuff from eBay before and it takes super long to ship, and I don't have time to wait, guys. I need this vehicle running as soon as possible. I just came over to Napa really quick to get some electronic cleaner to clean the plugs for the PCM because there was a little bit of dirt in there. I also had to get some heat shrink tubing for the hose that goes to the PCV valve. I had to re-silicone it because there's just no way the hoses are gonna adapt unless I can find a hose that gradually gets smaller the longer it goes. It's just not gonna work. So I siliconed that up. That's sitting at home right now drying. And I'm gonna put some heat shrink tubing on it just to help kind of, you know, reinforce it. Guys, it has been a long and interesting day. I have so much other stuff that I need to do, but the day's already pretty much over. It's 6:30. Been working on the Jeep all day, just trying to figure out what the heck is going on, and everything is pointing to a bad PCM. Now, the fun part, I gotta go home, I gotta do some online shopping, and I gotta find one of these bad boys so we can get the Jeep up and running. And just to show you guys a little bit more what I was talking about with the hose from the PCV valve, this is it right here. As you can see, I took the larger part of the hose, stuck the smaller part inside of that, and then put a ton of silicone around it. So I'm gonna stick the heat shrink tube right over this and seal this up nice and good, so that way we're just 100% positive the vacuum line's not gonna be sucking in any air. And of course, I don't have my heat gun with me, so the next best thing that we're gonna have to do is we're gonna put it over the stove and hopefully be able to get this to work. Well guys, I'm letting that hose dry and everything right now, the silicone on it, letting it cure, and now there's really not much else I can do. It's super dark outside, it's snowing, and I don't have a car to drive, so I can't go anywhere. This just sucks because I'm so limited on what I can do now. I'm just gonna be stuck in the house. Rachel's at work. I mean, obviously, like, I can play some Battlefield and chill, but I wanted to get some vlog footage for you guys, and it just sucks because I can't go anywhere right now. I'm literally stuck here. Junkyard is closed, so I'm not gonna be able to call them until the morning, and worst comes to worst, if the junkyard doesn't have one, I'll probably end up having to order like a refurbished one online. I mean, they're not too expensive. It just sucks, man. If it's not one thing, it's another, you know? And I'm not really one to complain. I'm just kind of letting you guys know what's going on. Like, this vlog's probably gonna be boring. Probably might just be me sitting at home because I can't go anywhere. Can't do anything. Can't work on the Jeep right now. Stressing out, guys. And just to double check, you know, the battery's disconnected right now. In the morning, once we get some more light again, I'm gonna double check and just look over everything one last time before I assume that it's the PCM. I know there's like a little test that I can do to check if it's the PCM, but Jeeps are just so finicky, man. They're so finicky. So the PCM is off right now. I got some electrical cleaner while I was at Napa. I want to clean out the plugs for the PCM because I noticed that there was a little bit of dirt in there. I want to get that all cleaned up. I'm going to hook everything back up together tomorrow and see if we're still having this issue. And if we are, then it can only be one thing. It can only be the powertrain control module, guys. Ah, what a fun and interesting day. Actually, it wasn't really fun and it wasn't really interesting. But thank you guys for sticking around, man. Thank you guys for watching on days like this. Like I told you in yesterday's vlog, some days are gonna be like this, where I'm just doing stuff like working on the Jeep. Man, we ended up getting a nice little bit of snow last night. Guys, shirt is off. The vlog is coming to an end. I already called the junkyard this morning. They have a couple Cherokees available. So first things first, I'm gonna head downstairs, start working on the Jeep, hooking up the old PCM, cleaning everything out, all the connectors, all that stuff, hooking up the battery. There's a way that I can reset the powertrain control module. It's like a weird little trick. Disconnect the battery, then you hook back the battery, then you flick on your headlight once, you don't turn the key all the way. It's like a little trick to reset the computer. We're gonna try that, see if it fixes the issue. If not, guys, we are gonna head over to the junkyard. We're gonna get a new powertrain control module, and we're gonna get the Jeep fixed and running today, guaranteed 100%. I am not stopping working on the Jeep until we get this thing running. I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on post notifications if you haven't already, so you guys get updated every single time I post a new video. Thank you guys so much for sticking by. I said it last night. I just appreciate that you guys are still here. You guys are still watching. If you made it to the end of this video, comment down below and say I made it to the end. With that being said, that is gonna wrap it up for the vlog, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.